When you force raw facts onto an unwilling mind, you create immediate cognitive resistance. Pushing dry information into a reluctant brain is like heaving a boulder up a sheer cliff. It takes massive effort, and it usually rolls right back down. Thousands of years ago, a king named Amar Shakti direct path to intellectual stagnation and eventually total collapse. The king's tutors deployed their standard methods, but direct instruction failed entirely. You can mandate a student's attendance, but you cannot mandate their curiosity. Rote memorization and strict lectures simply bounced off the prince's sheer apathy. Desperate for a solution, Amar Shakti called his ministers together. He begged them to find a way out of what appeared to be an impossible educational crisis. One advisor stepped forward with a unique proposal: bring in an intensely intelligent, highly unconventional educator named Vishnu Sharma. The survival of the dynasty now rested on a high-stakes psychological intervention to salvage the king's heirs. When Vishnu Sharma arrived, the king immediately offered to shower him with gold and gifts if he could fix his sons. Sharma declined the payment. He told the king that true learning cannot be bought with wealth. Instead, he demanded strict parameters for his experiment. The king had to grant him absolute trust and hand over the heirs for exactly 6 months. In return, Sharma guaranteed they would emerge as wise leaders. Upon observing the princes, Sharma made a crucial diagnostic assessment. The boys were not lacking intelligence. They were simply repelled by the rigid, formal structure of a traditional classroom. To achieve a different result, the educator realized he had to abandon the conventional teaching environment. If the students wouldn't adapt to the lesson had to adapt to the students. Sharma deployed a tactic we can call narrative camouflage. Rather than lecturing the boys on state affairs, he sat with them and told highly engaging, fun stories about clever animals and scheming kings to mask his true educational intent. This flowchart illustrates why his approach was necessary. Direct instruction hits a solid wall of cognitive resistance and shuts down, but a well-crafted narrative curves smoothly around mental defenses. The stories act as sophisticated modules on diplomacy, honesty, and decision-making. The resulting behavioral shift was immediate. The princes transitioned from passive, bored listeners to active participants. They began analyzing the characters and asking deep questions entirely on their own volition. Narrative storytelling acts as the most efficient delivery vehicle for complex human truths. At the end of the 6 months, Vishnu Sharma concluded his experiment and returned the princes to King Amar Shakti's court. Through the process of debating these fables, the princes had evolved. They moved from a state of total apathy to active inquiry, asking difficult questions about loyalty and the consequences of their decisions. Because they could now apply the wisdom of the stories to the challenges of the court, the kingdom's looming succession crisis was completely resolved. Vishnu Sharma's psychological intervention was a total success. He proved that his unconventional theory of education worked in practice. The specific curriculum of animal fables Sharma used to educate the princes was not discarded after they graduated. Those stories were preserved and codified into a single volume known globally today as the Panchatantra, a text that has guided leaders for centuries. This curriculum continues to demonstrate that even the most resistant minds can be reached when a lesson is built on a foundation of genuine engagement.